They announced a throwback edition of Smackdown for this Friday, and they showed the original Smackdown logo. I don't know if it's just a show with retro Smackdown elements or if they're just doing another version of old school Raw, but they're doing it on a Friday this time instead of a Monday night. They'll probably just trot out the legends for, bad comedy like they always do. All I want is the original Smackdown theme, which had no words. It was just that was the whole song. Bring back the original Smackdown theme and the fist. Bring back the fist entrance. I know it's not part of their HD set, but it can't be that hard to put a fist on top of it. Or even the Ovaltron. I will settle for the Ovaltron, even though that's not... I know that's not HD LED either, but I would love to see either one of those elements brought back for one night. We're also getting a WrestleMania rematch between Seth Rollins and Cesaro. Daniel Bryan is now banished from the blue brand. It is a good thing. They also have a red brand and a yellow brand, and I expect him to show up on one or both of them in the next few months. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns had the best WWE television match of the year so far on Friday night. Nearly 30 minutes long through 3 commercial breaks. And per the stipulation, Bryan is now gone from SmackDown. Now, I was also told that Charlotte Flair was suspended, and then she was back a week later. So, while I do believe that Bryan is gone from SmackDown, I can't say that I would be completely shocked if they found some kind of loophole and got him back on the show this week. I thought they did a great job of building up the main event on this show like a big match. They had cut-ins all throughout the night to various people offering their predictions for the championship match. Rollins, Cesaro, Nakamura, Baron Corbin, The Miz, Kofi and Xavier, Booker T offered his thoughts. Pat McAfee, I think, has settled in very nicely in just the first 2 or 3 weeks at the announce desk. I love when he gets very excited. You could see him standing in the background, standing up. He even got Michael Cole to stand up for part of that main event with him. Roman Reigns had revealed months ago that they were working on new theme music for him. He's been using that Shield theme now for almost a decade, so it was long past due for him to get new music. He had told Bleacher Report, and shout out to Graham, I think he was the one who did the interview, but he had told Bleacher Report that he wanted to make sure it was perfect for his character. This is what he said at that time. This is months ago. He said, with this character, it has to be the right vibe. We can't just hire a rapper and check out this guitar riff. It can't be some rock music. The Shield music, I wasn't even really into it back in the day, but over the years, it just started working. You get so used to it that I just time my pace to it. But yes, it takes some time and it has to be right. Well, that time came on Friday night, which is a little strange. They didn't unveil the music at WrestleMania. I mean, you would think at WrestleMania, big entrance, right? New theme music, that'd be the perfect place to debut it. And instead they waited until, 3 weeks after WrestleMania. But they unveiled it here. It is a totally different vibe from the Shield music. Honestly, it reminds me a little bit of the Seth Rollins Messiah theme. But I like this much better than I like that. I think it'll take a little getting used to after hearing the same song for so long. But to me, it has kind of a cinematic, epic feel to it. Like something out of a movie scene. But for a heel, it's very heelish. It's got a very heelish vibe to it, so it fits. This is not a song I think that would work nearly as well for a babyface. So for all you people who are still, and I don't know if there are any people left who are actually thinking this, but I know a few months after Roman came back, there were still people arguing with me that, oh, he's not really a heel. He's not a heel yet. Or he's a tweener. Well, now he's got heel music. So he is officially a heel now. There could be no debate. I know I got one email from Anthony. Anthony emailed me and said it sounded like Stardust was back. I wouldn't say that. Look, I'm just happy the guy has new music. For years, people clamored. They wanted Roman to change his look, change his attitude, go heel, change your music. Stop living in the past, stop being the Shield. Now we've got all three. And what the guy is doing is working. No one on either brand right now can touch the work that Roman Reigns is doing right now. Which is why he needs to hold on to that Universal title for a long time. He and Bryan had an excellent match, better than their Fastlane match from 6 years ago. Although it has been years since I've seen that match. Maybe if I were to watch it back, I'd feel differently. But I think it was better than that. You know, in the end, there was no Edge, there was no Jey Uso, there was no Cesaro, at least not until after the bell. So if anything surprised me, it was how clean of a win it was. He put Bryan out with the guillotine choke. It's like Lashley putting McIntyre out with the Hurt Lock at WrestleMania. That surprised me. They have been putting their heel champions over in dominant fashion. All the male singles champions are heels in this company right now, not counting the 24/7 joke belt. Right? Lashley, Reigns, Sheamus, and Apollo. Then you throw in Kenny Omega in AEW and Impact, and Will Ospreay in New Japan, Drake Wuertz in NXT. And it's a good time to be a heel in wrestling right now. Edge not showing up was a surprise. I fully expected, we haven't seen him in almost a month. And if anybody has a right in storyline to be bitter about Daniel Bryan coming back and wanting a title shot and getting another title match, it would be Edge. So, pleasantly surprised he didn't run in for the finish and cause a DQ or a distraction or something like that. Reigns grabbed 2 chairs to use on Bryan after the match for the concerto, which may be a sign that when Edge does come back, he's coming back after Roman if Roman starts using that concerto on a regular basis. Cesaro ran out before he could smash Bryan's head. He was laying in those uppercuts before Jey Uso attacked. They tied Cesaro up in the ropes. They forced him to watch as Roman gave Bryan a concerto. Good heel shit right here. Make the man watch. So Bryan is banished. As I said last week, he's trying to work out a deal where he stays with the WWE, but they allow him to work matches in other promotions in Japan. And I want $1 million and a hot tub time machine, but there are just certain things in life that are never going to happen. I think he takes some time off. Maybe he shows up on the Raw brand a little bit closer to SummerSlam if they want to do Lashley and Bryan at SummerSlam before Bryan's contract expires in the fall. Maybe he does some matches on NXT. That could be fun too. But if that was Daniel Bryan's swan song on Smackdown, he could not have gone out with a better match. Kurt Angle. On his Kurt Angle Show podcast, he did a little Q&A version of his podcast with Conrad this week. And he talked about, in answering someone's question, he talked about why he thinks Bret the Hitman Hart is the greatest wrestler of all time. He was asked a question about Bret, and those were his exact words. He also said Bret was the best overall technician that he ever saw in his life. He was talking about how Shawn Michaels is great, Chris Benoit, all these people, himself. But he put Bret at the top of that list. How about that? Talk about high praise. And that is a match that we never got to see, that we were all deprived of. Bret Hart against Kurt Angle in their primes. That would have been something special.